Hi everyone, welcome back to Live Darts. We're here at the MDA Modus event in Skegness. We've got Sky pundit Mark Webster. Mark, thanks for joining us. The World Cup's over. What a tournament it was.
Yeah, from the get-go, the first night, isn't it? No one was safe. We saw Wales and Northern Ireland going out on the first night in the same section as well, so it opened that up. Yeah, it was great, and we talk about being the best World Cup ever. It probably was. Had a bit of everything. It had the Dutch being tested without Michael's normal partner, and they came a cropper. The Scots finally doing what they should have done years ago. I think it was fantastic, and it's going to make it more competitive in the future because Japan do well, New Zealand, and all these other countries are going to have younger players. South Africa, Devon, all those youngsters watching, they're going to want to play in the future.
You touched on it, the opening night set the tone, really. There was a real topical thing on social media. I just want your thoughts on it. Obviously, Gezi got a lot of flack for his late arrival to the tournament, shall we say. He was on holiday, only flew in the day of the game. As a player, do you generally think that had anything to do with the results? I know he got a lot of unfair stick on social media for it.
No, it's his choice. 2 years ago, we got to the final and Gezi flew in on the day. So he hadn't been to Florida, but no, it's his way, isn't it? You know, some players like 2 days before, some players like a night before, some players like to be in the venue 6 hours before, some people 3. Everyone's different. You can't have a go at Gezi for that. It wasn't his problem. Both of them didn't play well. They know that, and they're another team now that really needs to. That's such a good team, such a good pair. And I think they're waiting to catch fire, and I hope they settle down into it next year.
The Irish team caught the nation, caught the hearts of the nation as well. Steve Lennon and Willie O'Connor. That game against England will live long in the memory. Willie's performance against Rob in particular.
Oh, it's unreal. I was sitting next to you watching all the films, like, he's not missing. He had like things like 92 and 88 left, and he's just going to hit it. You just never doubted him, and he was just in full flow, wasn't he? And he did it in the right side, because the next day he didn't really play like he can, but they got through because Steve Lennon did his bit. They were just a good team, a perfect team. And I said it in the bottom of the show, when a shock team gets to the final, you normally think the draw's opened up. They knocked every seed out themselves, and they just fell a little bit short in the final.
As well, looking at it, the format really suits as well. I know there's been a lot of talk, even us in the press room, we were talking about, can it be more pairs, or shall we move the pairs so it's more relevant in the knockout games? But do you think the way it is works, and would you change it?
I think it's fine. You have that pairs in the first round, which gets the players under pressure, which we've seen a few fault in Northern Ireland, Wales notably. And then, yeah, you bring in the singles play. And, you know, granted, the second day we didn't see a lot of pairs, but the final day we did. I think it works. Everybody's going to have their critics of it, but I think they can't argue with that World Cup. High quality, upsets, and a new name on the trophy. What can you argue with?
Again, from there, all eyes turn towards Blackpool now for the match play. I know I've got a few World Series events, but obviously ranking event, it's the magic of the match play is on the horizon. Special venue. Does it hold fond memories for yourself as well, just as a venue and everything like that?
Yeah, it was a sense of. I got to the quarters once there, but it was just a sense of achievement qualifying for match play. Because you've got to really perform it, and when you go there, there are 32 players who are in form. You've got the top 16 in the world, and then the 16 qualifiers from the Pro Tour merit. So you've got to have achieved something to get there, and the players love it. You listen to Glenn Durant. Glenn Durant crossed over and said, "I want to get in the match play," and he keeps. I say to him on the. What do you reckon will get me in the match? Glenn, you're in now, don't worry about it. But you know, that's what it shows. The BDO's guys come across, they want to play there. And the players who've been in the PDC for 20 years, they still want to play there. So the tournament just, you know, the players love it and it brings out the best in them.
Obviously, all eyes will be on Michael. His last 2 years at the match play haven't been fruitful, shall we say, and it's one he wants back. Is that bad news for the rest of the field, knowing that Michael is hungrier more than ever to recapture the match play title?
Yes and no, but he's hungry every tournament, isn't it? And the one good thing he's good at, he hasn't won the UK Open for 2 years. I don't imagine he'll never win it again. He'll win it one day. And he just brushes it off, he gets on with it. I think when he lost to Jeffrey last year, he didn't perform, he knows that. So yeah, he'll be determined this year, but that's what's scary. The guy hasn't won it for 2 years, so he's not defending any sort of money, and he's comfortably number one. But yeah, it'll be interesting. And Gary coming back as well. Good to see Gary playing. He's proper super chilled last week as well, so he's back defending his title, and we're going to have some debutants as well. So I think it's just going to be a great match play.
Touched on Gary as well. Obviously, that can only be a good thing for the sport that he's fit, healthy, and looks in great shape.
Yeah, and you know what, regardless of his fitness, he just looked happy. You know, I think a happy Gary Anderson's going to play well. And he seemed chilled out, relaxed. He enjoyed the World Cup. Him and Peter looked like a team this year for once, and shocked. The one time they looked like a proper team, they won it, and they're so good, and they should win it a lot more times. But yeah, it was good to see him back, and he just makes the game look so easy, doesn't he? Mark,
thanks very much for joining us here at Live Darts to run over everything that's happening and everything coming up, mate. Absolute pleasure. Thank you very much.
Phil. Anytime. Come on.